Welcome. It's Facts You Don't Know. If it's your first time here and you want to find out new facts that will definitely make you smarter and more, well, and first make sure to subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss anything.
A woman who lost her husband to her own mother said she would never forgive her fully for taking him away and having his child. Lauren Wall, who is now 34 and from Twickenham, southwest London, married Paul White, an airport worker, when she was 19. Her mother, Julie, now 53, arranged for a £15,000 wedding, and happy Lauren took her with her to Devon for her 2-week honeymoon. Husband Paul moved out 8 weeks later, and 9 months later, her mother Julie gave birth to his child, declaring that they were married. Lauren said, "Paul and Mum still got on very well. However, I never thought it was strange, as she was his mother-in-law, and he was nice. They'd laugh a lot together. I didn't think to be worried at all. Who would? I couldn't wait to settle into marriage, but the ink was barely dry on her certificate when Paul changed." Lauren added to his phone that her new husband had been protective. 4 weeks later, Lauren's sister used her mom's phone and discovered messages between Julie and Paul that were what Lauren claimed to be. Her mother denied that anything was going on and said, "You're nuts." "He went white as a sheet when I questioned Paul and refused to allow me to see his phone," Lauren said. Just days later, Paul took off his wedding ring and walked out on Lauren and their daughter, who was 7 months old. Once she learned that he had moved in with her mom, she said she couldn't believe the two people she loved and respected would handle it in such a way. "It was sick. It's one of the worst things a mom can do to a daughter. Paul may have been an intestinal groom, but she's my mom. After all, she's supposed to love and protect me." Lauren, a consultant for business growth, met Paul when he was 18. "I met him in a local pub. I instantly fancied him. He's asked for my number, and the next day he was writing asking to go to the cinema on a date. After that, we started out straight away." She suddenly found herself pregnant, and her daughter was born in March 2004, the pair getting married shortly after. 5 months later, we were getting married in a beautiful church ceremony with friends and family. Mom looked on proudly as we exchanged vows. He told me that he wanted to be with me forever. Lauren remembered how she heard rumors that he was staying with her mother after Paul walked out on Julie, obviously pregnant, walking down the street. Lauren said, "When I saw her down the street and heard that she was getting a bump, my mind was racing. She clutched her abdomen and said, 'It's a cyst.' I felt so bad. I went home and ruined all our wedding pictures." She had even set out to get a divorce. 9 months after Paul had gone out, Lauren's mother Julie gave birth to her baby in July 2005. "The father was another boyfriend," she tried to say, but I knew the facts. Officially, Paul and Mum declared themselves as a couple, crumbled the summer and my life. 5 years after Lauren's death, Paul married Julie. For Lauren's sake, Lauren even ended up going along to her mom's wedding. She called up to me and welcomed me. It was humiliating. I got married August 14th, 2004. They got married August 15th, 2009. It was pretty much too hard to handle, except for my daughter. I did. I went to watch Mum marry the man I'd wed 5 years earlier. Lauren said her mother has tried to build bridges, but she sees her infrequently. She initiated it. I dropped my brother off at her house and she got in my car, started crying, and just said, "I'm sorry." I told her, "Get out of my car." She wrote me a letter a couple weeks later apologizing. And that was the start of us mending our relationship. That was in 2006, and the pair still fall out. I still bring it up and make a comment, and she doesn't like it. Just because we spoke after doesn't mean I'm over it. Paul never said sorry or tried to apologize to me. I speak to him as he's married to my mom. I've asked him before to explain to our daughter, and he just says it's forgotten about now. Her mother, who works in child services, remains married to her former son-in-law. Lauren has recently found a new partner and is now happily pregnant with her 4th child, but says what happened will give her trust issues for the rest of her life. Time is a great healer, and Mom and I have tried to have a normal relationship, but we'll never be as close as we were, and I'll never fully trust her again. Julie, 53, said, "We're married, we didn't have an affair, we're married and that's it." Paul, now 35, declined to comment. Thanks for watching. Please like and share the video in social networks. We'll be right back to you as fast as we can.